Hey guys, welcome to D&D with FilthyRobot and friends. We're going to talk a little bit about our starting characters. This is going to be the beginning of a new campaign. We're super excited about this campaign. We've been building these characters for a couple of weeks now, and this is the first time we got a chance to sit down and play. So this is session number 1 of a new season of D&D. I want to just quickly do introductions. Just say perhaps who you are, who your character is, and just anything you want to say about your character just briefly. We'll go start with Kevin.
All right, I am Kevin, and my character is a dwarf paladin who is a little crusty and inappropriate, having gone through hard times and had various shifts in his faith and his purpose in the world.
Cool. Xilo?
Okay, so hi, I'm Xilo. I'm playing a Goblin Bard. He's a Glamour Bard, so usually I kind of dislike the whole playing monster characters, but I'm kind of more okay with it because Glamour Bards are particularly good at sort of charming people and just being as likable as possible. He sort of grew up a normal goblin life, just like in a cave complex with a bunch of other goblins, and at some point from deeper in the cave complex, a bunch of drow came through and killed almost everyone that he was with, and he kind of pieced together that the sort of normal drow or normal goblin life usually just ends up with meaningless deaths. So he's trying his hardest to not die a meaningless death and do something a little bit different than the usual goblin thing.
Cool. Hey, Steve, you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm playing Bereatim, aka Tim. Tim was chucked out of his high elf village as a young, 80-year-old high elf kid, whatever, when he was coming of age and trying to take over the Guild of the Cat as a blade singer. There was a power struggle and he got framed for some incidents and got kicked out, and he's been on his own in the woods doing his blade singing and hunting increasingly dangerous prey, sort of trying to find some meaning in his life.
Cool. That leaves me as the player characters, I guess. I am playing Chakolth, who is a Hexblade Warlock, which is going to be a melee warlock using a lot of polearms and that type of thing. Backstory for my character: half-elf, child of rape. It's the same drow that killed Sniven's clan. Also, were responsible for my mother's pregnancy, and then also later on killing of the entire town that I lived in. So half elf drow heritage, but pretty strong dislike of the drow. What motivates Chakolth as a whole here is not to be on the bottom rung of this power structure in life anymore. He's had some shitty things happen to him growing up, some shitty circumstances beyond his control, and he is very interested in accomplishing power for that ability to dictate how his life is led. So very early met Sniven as part of being in that area, became friends, a really kind of weird outcast kind of cross-racial friendship that normally wouldn't happen, and have later on encountered both Thaddeus and Tim in their travels looking for power in a sense. So that leaves you, Adam. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'll be your GM today. We're going to be running the Princes of the Apocalypse adventure path, which is a kind of a sandbox adventure with multiple chapters. It's designed from level 1 up to 15. We're starting at level 4, as gives the group a little bit more things to have and tools. And 2, everyone has one uncommon item, magical item, which they may talk about on their travels. Yeah, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, just a couple of things to point out before we get started. We'll get started in just a moment here. Both Adam and Steve are our content producers. You should totally check out their channels. Steve is a streamer as well as YouTuber. I will put links to both his Twitch and his YouTube in the description of this video. And Adam is a YouTuber as well. So I'll put a link to his YouTube description of this. He's part of Altf Four Gaming. So check them out. Tell them that you love seeing them on my channel, and go let them know that you appreciate them being here. So anyways, let's get started. So where are we?
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a little bit of a history of the area you're in and the landscape that you're in, because all of your characters have been here for a little bit, And I'm going to sort of, after that, I'll then introduce sort of where you guys are and how you're meeting. So the story takes place in the Desserin Valley. This is a lightly settled region of caravan towns, isolated homesteads, and uninhabited wilderness, which is about a week's journey from Waterdeep. Nothing of note to the wider world has happened here for hundreds of years. The frontier long ago receded farther northward, leaving behind a quiet backwater littered with ruins. These days, the valley has little in common with the popular conception of the savage frontier. Winters are hard, but the hordes of orcs and other hungry monsters are a long way off from these parts. It isn't as wild and lawless as it once was. It's still lightly settled territory that serves as a route to distant lands. Residents in places such as Red Larch or Tribor boast that their humble settlements are the gateway to the north. As to the north is the grand city of Neverwinter, quite a ride away, but it's within reasonable, riding time for you guys if you ever needed to go there. Neverwinter being a very large, prestigious city that's going to be able to handle needs, beyond whatever you guys may ever need in terms of magical items or, maybe hired help or things like that. So if I just move you here, you should be able to see this map.
Cool.
This kind of gives you an idea of the local areas within the Desserin Valley.
Okay.
Caravans
Cutting out a
travelers
little bit,
heading
Adam.
to or from the far north. The valley is a breadbasket for the hungry populations of Waterdeep and Neverwinter. So there are many farms, pastures in the area that produce grain, livestock, poultry, apples, hops, etc. And they ship them down the river, which is nearby the long road, which you can see in the south here. What else might you need to know? Few people become rich from farming, but farmers in the region do well. So yeah, there's a lot of history to the valley, which you guys will find out as you sort of travel around. In terms of where you are, all of your characters right now. Give me 1 second. So basically, I came up with an intro for each of you and each of your characters. Do you want me to give them to you individually, and you can read them, and I'll just put you then in the scene where you all are, or would you like me to read them out so that you all sort of know what's going on? How would you prefer that?
Why don't you give it to us individually? Your mic's going in and out a little bit, and I think long passage of you reading is going to be more harm than perhaps good. So.
Okay. So if you give me 1 second.
Excellent.
So, just to double check, I'm looking at the map and I see nothing but a black and white.
You probably zoomed in on a weird thing. On the top right of your screen, there will be a bar that you can adjust the zoom level.
I still just get a black and white zigzag. I don't get a map.
We should address that. Perhaps in the break we can figure it out if you don't figure it out along the way. Try at the bottom of your screen. There should be generally when that happens, you're zoomed in too far in a specific location, and if you zoom out and then use the scroll bar at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to move around a little bit to see that. If that's not the case, we'll have to fix it during the break.
Okay.
You're not audible at all right now, Adam. You're not audible at all. Nope. Oh no.
Is that any better?
Yes, now it is. But it's not your mic. It's not like a problem with that. It's an internet issue. You cut in and out.
Huh.
Okay. You're okay right now.
Unless
Yeah, okay,
it
so-
could be a noise gate. If you have a noise gate set slightly too high, it comes up more when you're mumbling a little bit, I think. I don't know if that's something you're doing at all.
So then you should be able to journal entry, which sort of what you're for you.
Not like this.
Not like this.
You know,
No. Right now we're getting connectivity issues. It's not connectivity issues. It's like bandwidth related issues on your side. All right. Let's. Okay. You were fine earlier. Give us what you can do. Oh no.
is it just cutting in and out?
Yeah, you're good. Like right now, we heard that fine.
Okay.
But we've lost video from you.
So
right
everyone
now.
apart from Steven should be able to read a journal entry. that sort of explains where they were. If you want, if you want to pause it, I could restart and see if that fixes it. But,
it seems to be intermittent, so I doubt it's like a issue fixed like that. Maybe what we can try in a little bit, if there's still problems, is we can try moving just to a voice call for you, and drop your face temporarily for if it's bandwidth out on your end. But it feels really unfortunate to have that for our first session, which feels so bad. All right. Okay. All right. So we're supposed to have journal entries. Where do we see them?
Yeah.
I don't see. I see beginning items, party notes. Oh, I do. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and you should have one now as well, Steve.
Thank you. Got it.
All right. So, where are we at the moment?
Okay, can you
I'm
see
right
this?
there.
Can you see this crater?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I totally killed that myself.
Yes, he's just rotted very quickly.
Okay, so basically we all have different reasons to check out this dead dragon, and we're meeting here, essentially. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So in terms of I guess reaction and order of what would happen, I'm going to say that Steven's character would make a decision first because of he's basically been here first for hours and has noticed people arriving.
Okay.
So what would you want to do first, Stephen, I guess?
And I see a goblin and a half-elf walking toward me. Are these the
If
two
you
figures?
roll perception, and you can sort of get a gauge of what you see.
Ooh, the first roll. Ooh. Oh, great.
You don't see us.
I may as well
What did
be
you roll?
invisible. You rolled a 7.
You know that you can tell they're humanoids.
They're humanoids.
Yeah, so they're at this sort of the size and shape of like humans or elves or.
Oi, what you guys doing over there?
So Zyla and James, do you hear a voice somewhere from that side of the crater, but you can't see them?
Oh, hello there. We were just investigating a dead dragon in the area. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a hunt here. Maybe you could come back later, take a look at the dragon. It's right here. A few hours.
Come back later? Why should we come back later? We're here now.
Oh, I've heard that there's monstrous creatures. I'm gonna kill them all.
Kevin, you can hear all this, by the way. You kind of arrive at the same time.
Lovely.
I'm just going to stay totally silent during this. I am basically large looming behind Sniven as he talks.
What monsters? Where are the monsters? We don't have a problem with monsters.
You know, I've never really understood. You go to a tavern and you say, I want to kill monsters, and they say there are monsters over here, and then you go there and you stand there for a day, right? You're just standing for a day, and there's no monsters. There's no monsters. It's a dead dragon. No monsters. Look, I'm Tim. What's your name?
Oh, well, hello, Tim. My name is Sniven. It's quite good to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to have some company, I guess. You seen any monsters around that need killing?
Well, no. We're here to investigate this dragon.
Oh, the dragon. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't kill that one, but it looks like a big Sheila.
Okay, well...
Sorry. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You wouldn't mind if we had a bit of a look around, would you?
Oh, no, go ahead. Watch out for the hunter's trap.
Oh, okay. Where is it?
Oh, just watch out. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I would like to, when he says that, I would like to look around for this hunter's trap.
Okay, you can roll perception.
Okay. Just click
I think Sniven would like to do that also.
What trap is this, Stephen?
I don't know. I start with a hunter's trap as an outcast or whatever. So I must have set it up somewhere.
Okay. Sniven, you can't really see over the edge of the crater. So if it's in you Filthy, I guess. You don't see anything either, really. It's you see these two piles of rubble here. They're about oh, hang on, there we go. About 10-foot wide squares on the floor. Do you pay any special attention towards the dragon at all, or are you looking specifically for this trap?
I'm looking specifically for the trap right now. I'm responding to his what he's told us.
Yeah.
I'll yell. Perhaps you could tell us where this trap is. We'd rather not accidentally interrupt your hunt. It might get you a monster if you tell us where it is.
Well, look, just don't step over there, all right? I'll point to here. Here's my trap. Oh, it doesn't. Hold on. It's not pinging for you.
I think it's a left click and a hold, right? Ping. Oh, we don't
Yeah.
have.
Oh, yeah.
I think you just hold.
There you go. Oh, so they're next to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have just to clarify, you've gone into a cave, stood totally stationary, put a trap on either side, and you're waiting for monsters to arrive. Okay, I think I'm on board now. I think I understand. All right. So I will kind of quietly bend over to Sniven and say, I think he might be insane.
Oh, that's all right. Everyone's got their little quirks about them.
Go easy. It's tough to say where they'll jump, which way they'll jump. I'm now very dubious of
Okay.
Okay, so
I
we're
lost your
here.
name.
We're here
Tim.
for the dragon.
Okay.
Sniven's gonna go over to the edge and look at the dragon.
Okay. Kevin is...
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh,
Is there
good.
anything to interact with, or are you just going to observe this conversation from a distance?
Yeah, I'm silently judging them and wandering toward the dragon also. Yeah.
Okay.
Did I see Kevin? Did I see Thaddeus when we were looking around?
In theory, we have a prior meeting or prior relationship of some sort. So I wasn't sure if we arrived here
Right.
Simultaneous or exactly how that looked.
Maybe we're waiting for you. That would make some sense.
All right.
I was
So
going to use this as that moment.
Oh, okay. That works too. So this is our meeting moment then.
So the most of the crater is quite high, but there are some like sloped entrances. You two have kind of arrived at one and can see up to where Tim is. Thaddeus is kind of on the other side, and you can't quite see him yet until he comes like crater when you'll be able to see him. But he can just sort of hear you and knows that there's people there. So Xilo takes a look at.
Yeah, I'd like to wander down toward the dragon, follow the voices down into the pit. And...
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll say you two get to the edge at the same time and then spot each other.
We both spot each other at the same time.
Yeah. So you see, I presume, a dwarf in full plate with a large shield and a hammer, slowly walking into this crater, and you see on the opposite side a goblin in. What would your character be wearing?
Studded leather, but like nice clothes.
Fashionable studded leather.
Fashionable. Very fashionable.
Maybe cut to show off those goblin pecs.
And I'm in chainmail.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Another wayward adventurer here to investigate the dragon, I assume.
Yes, that is true, and I would rather you weren't here to interfere.
Okay, so you're a super jolly one. Okay, well, keep that in mind. But we've been traveling for a while, and we plan to find out what's up with this dragon.
Well, stay out of my way while you do it, and we'll be able to coordinate our efforts then.
Excellent. Super friendly.
Did your character come up to the edge as well, Filthy?
Yes.
Yeah, you're looking in now. Okay, so all four of you can now see that this is obviously a very large dead dragon corpse, but you can't really see all of it. Most of it, like I guess from the waist, what would be its shoulders, I guess down almost, is covered. So when the meteor impacted and caused this crater, it revealed the dragon. Inside the corpse of the dragon is a long, refined glaive blade, which is embedded in the left shoulder blade of the dragon. The glaive is larger than that of a standard humanoid would wield, but the shaft is made entirely of white wood, which is encased in dark metal bands at regular intervals. The blade itself is impossible to see, as it is
Cutting out, Adam. So we got the description of the blade, and you started to say the blade is impossible, and then you cut out. Could you take it from there?
Right. There you go. I'll link it in the chat there, and you can read it just in case it cuts out again.
Okay.
Essentially, you can't see the blade of the glaive because it's so far into the beast.
Got it. Well, that
Okay, so it's like all skeletal, right? It's not like a relatively fresh-ish thing since it was buried for so long.
This looks ancient.
yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that it's been unearthed,
Right.
like, yeah, it's been unearthed. So it's
Okay,
definitely
and I'm curious. This is like outdoors in like a. It's not in a cave, right?
nope. You're about 10
like
miles
in a
away
valley.
from the local town, and it's
Okay.
just like a part of the landscape has happened. This happened.
Okay, and so all the area around us is like. Is it like a forest? Is it?
There's little, like, not quite forests, but I guess little outcroppings nearby. If you 2 seconds, actually, I'll just move you back to the main map, and I can show you where you are. If I zoom out a bit.
Kevin, did the other map load for you? So you
Nope,
saw the dragon.
I saw a big white circle inside a black field and only my character.
Okay, we're gonna have to fix
That
that.
might mean that the textures aren't loading. If you just refresh Roll20, that might fix it. So this crater here is where you are.
Gotcha. Neat. Okay.
Refresh, roll 20.
Well, I am going to lean down to Snivening and say, and I'm point excitedly at the glaive and be like, "Look, this could
Oh
be
yes.
something that kills a dragon."
Well, it looks like it did. Let's go grab it.
No, wait a minute. If a meteor bore this hole into the planet and did not damage the shaft of this glaive, that is not something you want to touch. This is the work of demons and devils. You need to be cautious.
It's funny, like we see the same information, but I come to a totally different conclusion. That is exactly what I need to touch. Are you kidding me? It survived a meteor strike and killed a dragon. Do you realize the potential that artifact might have?
To kill you? Absolutely, I do.
Okay,
Well-
Chakolth, go pick it up very carefully.
Are you kidding me? Very carefully is going to make a difference.
Like, I'll use,
Sure, just
I'll
make
be
sure
gentle.
make sure you don't actually let the fiends get into your soul when you gently pick it up. That's a good idea.
You seem a man who may have some experience with fiends. Perhaps you could act as help here. You could help guard my soul for me as I risk this endeavor.
I'm prepared to kill you when the bad things happen. Absolutely.
All right,
I'm
but
at your side.
let's get a code, like a safe word together. Something that you know. I'll give you the safe word. If I don't give you the safe words, because fiends have possessed me and taken over. How's that?
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't believe in safe words. I'm sorry.
Kevin, you didn't notice this person until now, but a voice just came from the top of the crater.
I yell, "Fiend!"
Where? I will turn and try to figure out what caught my attention.
As he's busy, I'll head down to the dragon.
Same here.
Okay.
Let us know which order you want us to resolve in.
Sure. So if you want to, you know the sound is coming from the location where you can see Tim on that. You know the voice is coming from over there.
Yeah. I was deliberately fucking with Thaddeus at this point.
Lovely. So I can tell that it's Tim over there that I'm.
But you haven't met
Well,
Tim because this is your meeting place.
You've never met this person, and
Right,
they've just
right.
shouted down to you.
But it's Tim. Yeah.
So it
Okay.
is Tim.
Okay. Are you gonna do anything, Thaddeus?
I don't know if he's just standing up there making noise and dancing between the monster traps. I would probably ignore him and pay attention to the more imminent danger.
Okay. So what do you do when you get to the glaive?
Look at it.
Well, actually, I'll turn
Find
back,
it.
seeing that Thaddeus isn't distracted. Has he introduced himself? I don't remember if he said his name or not.
Nope.
I'll say, Dwarf, what do I call you?
My name is Thaddeus. Thaddeus the Lost.
Well, Thaddeus, this is going to be the moment of truth here. I'm going to attempt to remove this glaive, have a look at it. If you want to stand ready in case anything is unleashed, you're be much appreciated.
I will move to the head of the beast in case this unleashes its unholy powers.
Okay.
I will.
And then you grab it.
I will. Yep. I will grab. I will. Actually, just think about anything. Yes. Fuck it. Yes, I am. I'm just gonna go out. He's very interested in this. I'll turn to Sniven just quickly and say, do you detect anything? Is there any reason to fear for this? And I'll look and see. Just, I want to make sure the dragon's clearly dead. I know it's very old, but I don't want like animated necromantic dragons like biting me as I'm reaching inside them. So I'll take a minute to look around. I guess is what I'm saying first.
Right. So we're going to look at it more closely now that we're next to it. Is there any?
It's dead. It's definitely dead. This thing seems like, if you could even imagine what 1,000 years old looks like, that's probably what this looks like. If not longer. Ancient. Very, very, very old.
Okay.
Before he proceeds, I'd like to use my divine sense. That's detect celestial, fiend, undead, consecrated, desecrated, that sort of thing.
You detect a celestial being inside the glaive.
Ooh.
All right. I'm going to shout a warning and say, hold. I believe that there is a living celestial within that glaive.
I look at him.
Okay, that's not a demon, so no problem.
So
More
as you,
company.
as you do that, he's already grabbed it.
Okay, that's the timing. Fair enough. Okay.
And then what I sent to you, Filthy, if you want to read that, and then let me know what you.
Did you send
wanna
something
do.
to me?
You should see a whisper.
Oh, I did. Okay,
Your
yeah.
phone.
Sorry, above Thaddeus. Yep. You want me to read this, or you want me to just react to it?
You can read it, to yourself and react to it. However, like I guess just whisper me the reply or tell me what you want to do.
Okay. All right. I will attempt to do this piecemeal rather than all or nothing. I'm going to attempt to create space where I could communicate with it, but not give it full access to my mind. If that makes sense.
Okay, what do you want to say or do, or how would you want to communicate?
I'll start pre-word. I'll start just kind of with emotion and intent, and I will try to project an intent of interest and curiosity, but not harm.
You feel a very serene presence, and that this being seeks equilibrium and balance.
So what does it look like from the rest of us' point of view?
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to ask, like, passage of time and that sort of thing.
Like, all of this is going to happen in a second.
Right.
So right now, he's just grabbed it. And then all of this will happen in Filthy's mind.
Right.
And then whatever the resolution is will change what happens.
Okay, so we're still in the 1 second.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So this isn't a weird ongoing trance where I should walk over and club him.
Nope.
Right.
So far, it's just he's grabbed it and nothing's happened.
Okay. I will express puzzlement. I want to express like acceptance and puzzlement, kind of like that I'm interested and willing to help, but not understanding what it wants. And I'll try a word now that we've kind of done that. I got a sense that I can communicate, and I'll say, "What are you?"
Can you make a con save?
Con save, sure. Okay.
Does he say that out loud? Or are you like thinking it to it?
Good one. You said con save, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're embarrassing.
So for a second, the second after he grabs it, It looks like he convulses for about a second, and then the blade shatters and turns into dust, slowly floating away, billowing away into the crater. Filthy, your body feels like all of your muscles ache, and for an instant they feel like they're maybe hundreds of years old, and this lasts for maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then the same instant after you just feel perfectly normal.
Okay, so I stagger slightly from it, and I look up, and I yell. I literally yell, "No!" as the weapon just dissipates into, like, as you said, into smoke and dust. And I'll turn to Thaddeus, and I'll be like, I'll turn to Sniven, rather, excuse me, and I'll say, "We're so close!" Ah.
God damn it, you already broke it?
It just dissolved. How could it survive a meteor strike, and if I touch it, it dissolves?
Well, you broke it, you tell me.
Man, I don't know. I don't feel so good.
Oh, I'm walking over with my warhammer in my hand to stand very close.
I get, like, how do you approach? Can you describe that a little bit more? Warhammer in hand, like, looks hostile.
Not like ready to drive you like a spike, but in my hand and walking over with a concerned furrow in my brow for sure.
Okay, I'll say, did you guys hear that? Did you hear the creature? I'll say.
I knew it. I knew there would be trouble from this.
Monstrous creatures. Hide, you'll get sucked in the traps.
Just hear this voice. Totally ignore him. I've already mentally decided he's insane, so I just assume he's just going to be saying things. So I say, I felt a presence, and I'll say this. I'm saying it to Sniven, but I suppose Thaddeus is close enough that I'm okay, like him overhearing. I felt a presence. It seemed to seek equilibrium, and then I invited it to communicate, and then nothing. Then I feel weird. The weapon's destroyed. Maybe can we get out of here? Get out of this pit for a minute. I could use some fresh air. Just, figure out what the fuck just happened.
I'd like to walk down toward him, looking concerned and curious. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I touch you?
So,
do you ask me?
I'm reaching my hand out, like, non-verbally, asking.
I'm kind of getting a little bit, not frustrated, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit worried. There's a bunch of people, strangers very close, one with a warhammer, one who wants to touch me.
Well, if you're not stopping me.
I kind of shy away a little bit, but I don't stop you.
All right. Well, look, mate. I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on him. We've all had bad nights. We wake up feeling weird. Maybe this will cheer you up a bit. Seems like a bit of a rough blade, eh?
Yeah, something's not right. I don't feel myself. Feel a little weaker than normal. Oh, did I just take 29 points of damage?
No, well, I'm not going to tell you what that means.
Okay.
Something very important, very impactful happened, but you'll find out later.
All right. I'll say, like, I could really use a minute.
To Kevin and Xilo, Chakolth, are you wearing a helm?
I'm not at this moment, but I do have one.
Okay. His face has visibly aged. Like,
Chakolth?
maybe like 5 years.
Wow.
That sucks.
Somewhere around there.
Good thing he's an elf.
I guess you can't really tell, but like he just looks, I guess, older or haggard or very tired or exhausted or like something has happened to his physical form.
Yeah, you know what? You do kind of look like shit. We should get out of here.
Yeah. I don't think we should leave this dragon unexplored, but maybe just a few minutes to sit out for a minute. I don't feel good. So I'll start heading out of the pit, and I just want to get a little bit of space.
The weapon is like completely shattered, like the whole thing is dust, or is there like a shell of it or something, or like?
No, it's all gone. Just it was as if like, it just literally was made of sand and it just disappeared all of a sudden, just dissipated into dust.
I'd like to.
Didn't he say everyone to roll perception? Was I the only one
Yeah.
who heard that? Everyone's supposed to be
Yeah,
rolling
yeah.
perception right now, so if no one else heard that.
So you
Oh.
carry on. After roll it at the same time while you're talking. That's fine.
Well, is my passive of 19 good enough, or do you need an additional active roll?
Okay. So you said you were heading out of the crater.
Yeah. I guess
Okay.
it was good enough. Okay. You should always roll as well, though, Kevin, just because you'll have a
You
chance
could
for
get
better.
higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And I think I actually roll
Advantage on it, yeah.
on advantage, yeah. So I would have 2 of those.
Okay.
Okay.
Do that
So
again. Oh, let's take the
you guys
first.
are really being careful of your steps. But you are very keen with your eyes, and you can see these sort of 10 by 10 squares begin to rumble and the ground begin to tremor slightly.
Where?
One of them is here, and one of them is here.
I
Can you
didn't
see those
anything.
rumble?
No. Can you ping? Because I didn't see what you just did.
Sorry,
Okay. Yep.
there and here.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
The piles of rubble. Gotcha.
All right. So who sees them moving?
So you do, and Thaddeus.
Okay. I immediately reach for my glaive, and I shout to Sniven, "Beware!" Because I'm seeing something that's not right, and I'll say that as much. I don't know how much time I get to say, but if I get enough time to say, I'll say something's not right, and if I get longer, I'll point to the offending areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, behind me, strangers, there's danger afoot.
And I actually will get
All
behind him.
right, and then
Blade song.
Okay.
Cast Blade song.
But we are going to cut the part here. Let me just right off the bat apologize for audio issues. This is our first session. This is the first time slot in the first session of this. We'll have to see what we can do about that. I know Adam's cutting out a little bit, and we'll try to work on what we can do for that. Try to get any technical issues sorted out in the break as much as we can. So let me apologize for that. But thank you very much for watching, guys. We're going to cut the part here, and we'll see you guys shortly. Thanks for watching.